Well, there is a fish salad served as an appetizer or meal in Hawaiian cuisine called ahi poke.
And poke means, basically poke means block cut.
Okay.
You know, and we'll kind of get into that when we talk about the tuna.
Poke.
Poke, that's right. But it's, you know, Hawaii's got a lot of influences. There's Polynesian, there's Japanese, there's Philippine. So, you know, there's a lot of, and there's some native as well. But, you know, all these kind of things kind of come together. And so Hawaiian food is really complex, and it's really kind of neat to see. So this is just one of the things that we're going to do. And then because it's Lent, I thought bringing something like this would be fun because it's a little bit out of the norm. And that, you know, when we talk about, you know, sushi or sashimi, you know, what are we talking about? What does it that mean? And so, you know, at Square One, we kind of delve into some of these things and really talk about, okay, you know, yeah, we're making this thing, but what is it? What, you know, how, kind of digest it, and where is it coming from, and what's the meaning, and all that kind of stuff. So.
You say the words raw fish.
Right.
And people get kind of
You said
squeamish.
the word raw fish. I didn't say that.
I did, but we're not cooking the fish today.
No.
That's
no. So I'm going to have you start measuring out some soy sauce and some sesame oil. Now, I've already, in our recipe, we required rice wine vinegar. But this is pickled ginger. And pickled ginger is pickled with rice wine vinegar. And I like the flavor of the pickled ginger. Yeah, that's why you want a teaspoon of that.
Oh, not a table.
Yeah. and then so I just used the juice instead of using the rice wine vinegar. Yeah, see where we're going there? Okay. So now for our crisps, we're gonna do some wonton crisps, and you know, you can certainly fry these, but not everybody wants to heat up oil in their home. So one of the easiest ways to do this is to take a silpat. If you don't have one, parchment paper works. But a silpat stays really nice and flat on your cookie sheet. And then I'm going to have you kind of lay these out, and you're going to kind of go in and stir this, and you're going to brush those. Okay. And then we're going to tap some some sesame seeds on top. So why don't you get working on that?
Thank you.
In the meantime, I'm going to cut a little onion. Now, of course, if we were in Hawaii, we would have the Maui onions, but we don't.
We could go to Maui and make this
again. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yes.
So, you know, one of the things I always get asked about is like knife skills. And, you know, one of the things that when we do the hands-on classes at Square One, we focus on stuff like that. You know, just if it's just cutting an onion or, you know, cutting some garlic or whatever it may be, you know, we're focusing on these very basic kind of things.
Do I need to do both sides of these?
No, just the one. Okay. And then what I did with these is I sprayed one side of it with a cooking spray. And, you know, you really don't need to do that because of the silpat, but I wanted to add a little bit more of a fat element into it, so that's why I did that.
How much of this chili oil?
Okay, now you're going to just add a dash because that's really not in our recipe, but we do want a little bit of some spice. Now, I also have a fresh serrano here. And we're gonna give that a, because I like the combination of both that kind of a dry chili heat and a fresh chili heat. I think the fresh chili heat has a lot more floral qualities to it.
Am I probably not supposed to be mixing with
No, that's okay.
my spoon?
That's okay, yeah, that's exactly, oh, that spoon, no. Well, we can switch to the other spoon in just a little bit. So here's our fresh chili. We're gonna put that in there. Yum. And now we're gonna go to our tuna. Now our tuna, okay, now, before we do that, I'm going to have you kind of do some sprinkling. And so what you want to do is kind of be...
He was too busy eating.
You want to crop dust. Okay. It's just a little bit, not go too crazy. And you can do that for both of those. So here's our tuna. Now I get this over at Deep Blue Seafood. And I talked to John this morning about this. And I love this tuna. There's a variety of reasons why I like it. First of all, because we're going to be eating tuna quote-unquote raw. I like to refer to the term pickled rather than raw.
Okay.
And that it's frozen, and it's frozen at the source. The way it's cut is what they call a block cut, and then even though poke is a block cut, this in particular is for that very reason. Then also, if you're going to do sushi, particularly nigiri, which is like the little, shaped things.
Yeah.
When you go to slice it, this is perfectly set up for that.
Yeah.
Got it.
So it's high quality, AA, yellowfin. It's frozen at the source. It's perfectly 100% usable. Okay. You don't have to cut anything off it. So that's why I love it. And this is in the way.
So what are you going to cut it as today?
So we're going to do the poke.
Okay.
The poke is a block cut. So I'm going to first make my kind of like a 1/4 inch cuts.
Wow. Look how perfect that is.
I
It's
know.
1/4 inch every time.
Well, and,
But you're trained.
well, and the thing is, I take pride in my cuts. I do. It's it's one of the things I try to tell the people I teach is yes, you could kind of hack at stuff, but really take some pride in what you do. Take some pride in your art, your craft. Because we are craftspeople in a way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you make it for the family, make it so that it's like Snapchat worthy or Instagram worthy or
So this is our block cut. And, it depends on, I like the 1/4 inch. I think it's a good size. Sometimes people get a little big and it gets a little clumsy.
Right.
All right, so I'm going to add this now to
mine?
that. Yep. So we got about 6 ounces here because this whole block was about 12. Right.
It actually smells really good over
It does,
here,
doesn't
Chris.
it?
Oh,
I'm not
good.
going to lie.
I'm going to give it a little bit more because I can't.
Because you want it a lightly coat.
Right, and that's
it.
the thing is now, if you like your poke a little bit more seasoned, you have the option to do that.
Right.
So, you don't. Now, ideally, it would be great if we could marinate that for an hour.
Okay.
The reason why is because all those flavors are going to really come out. The onions are going to kind of release some flavor. All that stuff is really going to happen. So while we're baking those in an oven, we can be while we're marinating this, we can be baking those in the oven. 350 golden brown, done.
Bam.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
And
All
then
right.
they turn into those
And they
delicious
turn into
things
that.
Chris has been eating.
Yeah, they're
So now I have a
good.
little unagi sauce. Now this is unagi's eel sauce, but there's no eel in here.
Unagi.
There's no Mr. Unagi, but there's no eel in here. It's just sugar, rice wine vinegar, and soy sauce. So we're going to just put a little layer of, just a little decorative base. Okay.
Cool.
And then we're going to take our poke.
Wow.
And how simple, but it looks so fancy.
I know, isn't it? I mean, and wait till you taste it.
And I mean, like you said, especially now with a lot of people trying to eat fish, and you can do it in a different way.
And this
You
is
basically just scoop it up almost like a salsa?
yeah. And then this is kaiware, which is a daikon radish or daikon sprout.
While you're decorating, tell people how to get signed up for classes at Square
Okay,
One.
so it's really easy. You go to squareonekitchens.com. That's all spelled out, squareonekitchens.com. You go to a flash page. The page says rent or take a class. You click on take a class. You have a calendar that comes up. And we are just about to add a whole bunch of stuff for April and May.
I almost need two
So
chips that I can
we're in
scoop.
that process. Now, what do you think?
Don't forget you can go and get
I
the
love it.
recipe online on ndtoday.tv. We'll have more to come here in North Dakota Today when we come back.
Very delicious.